And happy people, good night. Nevis people, good night. Tonight, I am in my mode as Premier of the country. Tonight, I speak to you, and this broadcast is being carried live on the NTV. It's being carried live on Choice Radio and live on VON Radio. The whole of Nevis and the whole of St. Kitts are listening tonight, and all our people and friends abroad are listening to this broadcast. I want to thank the chairman, Mr. Carlisle Powell, for the work that he has done tonight, and I also want to embrace the family of the Nevis Reformation Party. Good evening to the family of divisions on Nevis, in the Federation and further afield. Good evening to all our friends and all well-wishers of the Nevis Reformation Party. It was Brutus in the epic works of Shakespeare who said, and I want you to bear with me tonight, I'm going to stay away from the excitement at first, so I want you to listen. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken of the flood, leads on to fortune. Tonight, the tide taken by the voters of Nevis 4 years ago has begun to deliver great fortune. But the best is yet to come. We have a wonderful series of meetings these past weeks. We have had a great rally here tonight. The people of St. James are here in their numbers. Can you put up your hands, St. James? St. James? St. James, are you ready? You have had a wonderful time. St. Paul, are you here tonight? St. Paul, are you ready? St. John, are you here tonight? St. George, are you here tonight? St. Thomas's, are you here tonight? I like the feeling. I like the feeling. I like the tempo. You have sent me a message. I have received that message. You have said what you want, and I believe in giving the people what they want. Ladies and gentlemen, can you bring the bell? Now I want you to observe two things. That bell was given to me by the Honorable Patrice Nisbet, and is a symbol and a signal to the people of St. James that this is the man for this parish. Secondly, I looked at the bell to make sure that Silver Tongue is there tonight. Now, I want you to listen to me. 4 years ago, the economic forecast for Nevis, like the rest of the world, was gloomy. The Four Seasons, our major economic vehicle, was closed. The storm clouds of recession loomed ominously in the horizon. And so you turned to the Nevis Reformation Party for help and reassurance. Our resources were limited, but there was a massive job for us to do. The job was extraordinary, but you knew if anyone could do it, it was the Nevis Reformation Party. Yes, like all the economies in the world, the economy in Nevis was on the decline. The revenues were falling. The Four Seasons was closed. And some 500 persons were out of work. But yet, the expectations of Nevisians were high. You know that NRP, a clean, honest government, will find a way to satisfy the needs of all the people of Nevis. You know that with hard working, competent leadership, the social services of this island will be maintained and maintain the work. Our housebound senior citizens received not one meal a week, but a meal every day. They were visited daily, and those who were on their feet were taught new skills, including playing the pan. What a wonderful minister! What a wonderful minister is Henry Daniel! What a wonderful person is Henry Daniel! You know, with competent leadership, that our education system would be enhanced. Certainly we are all aware of the hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in the primary schools, St. Thomas, Charlestown Preschool, Ivor Walters Primary School, the two high schools. It means, therefore, that every child has benefited from the hard work of NRP. We have placed computers in every primary school. Every child now understands the computer. 5th formers got laptops. 6th formers got laptops. What NRP has done is to open new vistas of possibilities, new worlds for young people to explore by the way of the internet. We have been able to get young Nevisians to return to teaching. Of course, they were encouraged by incentives that they could go to university with the help of the government. It is a good thing. I sense, I feel a new awakening in our young people. A sense of self, a sense of belonging and wanting to be part of the action. Yes, NRP has liberated the young people of Nevis, and we are looking to the young people. We are looking to you young people to elevate us to another 5 years in government. You turned to NRP 4 years ago because there were many negative reports in Nevis. You know, you were no longer proud to proclaim to the world that you were Nevisian. For you were confronted with scandal after scandal. Road scandal, the airport scandal, 80-acre scandal. The tide in the affairs of Nevis were at the flood, and you turned to the Nevis Reformation Party in the hope of somehow emerging from the experience with great fortune. Tonight I'm proud to report to you that the economic advisory on Nevis has been lifted, that the sordid stories about corruption and malfeasance in office have ended, that divisions traveling abroad can once more hold their heads high, and here in this beautiful island of ours, the standard of living of our people has been maintained and in many instances enhanced in these most turbulent of economic times. We were able to go against the trend in the Caribbean, the hemisphere and the world, and contain unemployment during the last 4 years. There were some difficult times and there were some periods of adversity, but we stuck it out. The Nevis Island administration attacked our problems in a common sense and realistic manner. When we needed to yield, we yielded. But when we needed to stand firm and demand the best for Nevis, we did this. And the result tonight is an emerging economy that is the envy of many, both near and far. Ladies and gentlemen, supporters and well-wishers, you view the television every night. You follow developments in the sister islands in the Caribbean, in North and South America, and Latin America, and in Europe and Asia. You have heard of the many layoffs, the social unrest, the reversal of progressive policies that have brought benefits to ordinary citizens. You have heard of economic meltdown in Ireland. You have heard of the economic financial disaster in Iceland. Today there are riots in the streets of Greece and demonstrations in Spain. The economy in Greece is in turmoil, and it is anticipated if Greece falls, Spain and Portugal will go the same way. That will not only bring the euro currency under threat, it can crush into shambles the major economies of France, Germany and England. It can bring hardships to our families who live in Britain. In our own hemisphere and the Caribbean, there are members of us who have families who have lost jobs in St. Thomas. Jobs have been lost in Puerto Rico, and even in Cuba, the most socialist of Caribbean countries, several persons have been laid off in the last few months. Here in Nevis, with no natural resources, we are able to stem the tide. In every sphere of social and economic activity, we have been able to hold our own through skillful negotiations and working hand in hand with the federal government and other social partners. We were not only able to have Four Seasons reopened in December 2010, but we were able to maintain the premier name of the Four Seasons Hotel right here on the island of Nevis. It was Jim Fitzgibbons, president of the Four Seasons Resort Worldwide Operations, who stated that the government played a pivotal role in the reopening of the Four Seasons. What a difference a Four Seasons make. Over 500 persons went back to work. Taximen, restaurants, farmers, fishermen all benefited because of the efforts of the Nevis Reformation Party. Along with the stakeholders, of course, who have interest in the Four Seasons. The overall result has been that when you visit ordinary homes in Nevis tonight, when you speak with many persons on the street, when you talk with the youngsters on the block, you do not sense the mood of hopelessness that engulfs many nations with far greater natural resources. This is a tribute to strong, honest, enlightened leadership of the Nevis Reformation Party. We, like the boy with the 3 fishes and 5 loaves, have taken a little and done a mighty lot for the masses of the people of this beautiful island of ours. The reasons for the enthusiasm and hope do not rest solely in the reopening of the Four Seasons Resort. Your government embarked on a massive housing program in this country. To date, over 300 homes have been constructed by the Nevis Reformation Party in the island of Nevis. Nevisians who are now proud homers and who have keys to their homes can shake these keys with pride. What a difference a home makes to new proud homeowners. Cherry Gardens in the south, Golden Grove in Brownhill, Harbour View in Craddock Road, Hamilton, Maddens, Newcastle, Jessops, Cotton Ground, and more to come. Also in the area of Gingerland. We did not construct homes only, we employed people as well. 500 persons were employed by this government in the heart of the recession. We took people off the streets. We helped to soften the blow of recession, and we gave hope to our people. Then, of course, I must talk about Brownhill Communications. 180 persons employed in the face of the greatest resistance from certain elements in our society. We knew that we were making a good decision, and we knew why we were making that decision. The people didn't want concessions. They wanted to spend their own money to develop their business in this country. Today, in spite of certain comments by members of the opposition, we have a brand new building in Brownhill costing over $1 million, which will be employing an additional 200 young people on the island of Nevis in the next 12 months. This is not a case of chest beating. This is an instance of the facts speaking for themselves. We have inherited a very sticky wicket, but we have made the best of it. And we have scored century after century on this sticky wicket. We have amassed an enviable record of achievements, and there's none on this island who could have done better. No political party on this island could have done better. When we speak to the 4 years of NRP stewardship, they must point to the issue of governance. We must comment on the enhanced image of Nevis by Nevisians and foreigners alike. They must surf the net and acknowledge the improved image and perception of Nevis around the world. They must give credit for the fact that in 4 years, not a single finger of corruption or malfeasance in office can be pointed at any member in this cabinet of the Nevis Reformation Party. That is a significant achievement, because you have been able to access vital services, because there was no concealed expenses or add-ons, no one fronted for anybody. We negotiated with the private sector in open and transparent manner, and in every instance we landed the best deal for the people of Nevis. This is how we are able to keep vital services on stream in these difficult economic times. That is why we did not burden you with onerous taxes. That is why we have been able, as an island administration, to pay our debts and stand tall as craftsmen of faith. We have come this far because we have put our confidence and trust in God. We have come this far because we have been careful and prudent, and we have been responsive, and we have been honest. That is why Nevis' motto are running along this evening, and this is why we cannot afford at this time to turn back. We must not turn back. There's nothing behind us. We must not look back. The path ahead is clear. The Nevis Reformation Party has a very realistic flight plan to take us to our desired destination. What is the future? We have sat and we have analyzed the economy of the island, and we know that we know what it will take to achieve our goals and to deliver the people of Nevis the quality of life they aspire to and they so richly deserve. A young lady spoke to me yesterday, and she said she was praying for me because things were getting worse. A lady from St. Kitts. I am not sure what she was talking about, but I want to say that things are not getting worse in Nevis. Things are not getting worse in Nevis. We were able to stabilize this country in the face of the worst recession. We were able to find jobs for almost every division, and we had extra jobs for foreigners as well. So things are not getting worse. The public sector has done its work in creating jobs. In the worst of times, the government was able to take on more people. The government was able to employ people in construction. Now the time has come for the private sector to take the strain. But I can assure you that the private sector is ready to take the strain, and better days are ahead for us. Let me assure you that as you travel from the airport to Charlestown, you can see the beginning of action that indicates better days are ahead. You look and you have a hotel construction at Cades Bay. You have Dion Daniel doing another 102 rooms that will be opened in December. You have Greg Hartman planning on having about 40 condos in the same area. You have the Aman Hotel in Gingerland and other activities on the island of Nevis. So the question is, and I want you when you leave tonight to not only hear the question, but have the answer, because this is what you're voting for. What to the future? What to the future? You must be able to tell CCM what to the future. What will happen under the Nevis Reformation Party, so they cannot beat you down and they cannot change your minds. We have spoken on the Aman and other projects in the field of tourism development. We continue to work on the drag strip. The drag strip, which is a tourism product of this country and the pride of Nevis and the Eastern Caribbean. We will not close down the drag strip. We are going to enhance it. We are going to make it better. We are also building a shopping center in Charlestown. A shopping center where the mall is. I want to tell you tonight that the mall where divisions are selling, where divisions have shops, will continue. Divisions will continue to own the shops, but the empty rooms, this new building will be for upmarket items, providing jobs for 57 persons. I'm deliberately telling you this because Mr. Amri says he can put that on your building for more divisions. But divisions have not taken up all the shops in the mall right now. We will have persons having shops there, selling expensive items and employing some 57 divisions. What to the future? What to the future? The big one is geothermal. The big one is geothermal energy. You know, we had some challenges, and I want you to hear and remember, we had some challenges. The opposition sent letters to Washington to tell the people in Washington not to approve the loan. Even the loan was not for us, not to approve the loan. They put obstacles in our way. That is why a certain gentleman, the oldest lawyer on the island, was able to state in measured tones that the finance for geothermal would no longer existed. He thought that whatever they did had done the job. But I'm here to tell you, the geothermal project is as strong as ever. As strong as ever. I want to tell you that today, the people who are helping to develop geothermal on the island, they were working with members of the Ministry of Communications to come to the final agreement, and that document will be signed tomorrow. I want to tell you there were other parties who are opposing the financing of the project. Tomorrow they will write a letter to the embassy in the United States in Barbados, the embassy in Barbados. And tomorrow they will tell the embassy that they no longer object to the finances of the geothermal project. So all we will be left with to oppose the project is CCM. All we'll be left with is the concerned citizens movement. A group of people who are totally insensitive to economic times, totally insensitive to what will happen to energy surcharge if you were to get geothermal, a surcharge that will disappear overnight. Insensitive to the jobs that our people can get and to the lower cost of fuel. But tonight, I bring you reassurance. I bring you hope. It seems almost that there is divine intervention on behalf of the people of Nevis. Those who pray and those who don't. Those who go to church and those who don't. That God spares no man and God blesses everybody. And so, I'm telling you that a message was given to me. A message was given to me at the church at Eden Brown a few weeks ago. There were over 300 persons there. And some of you must be here tonight. And the pastor who comes from Washington said, now is the time for Nevis. And he said, you will be the man to deliver geothermal in this country. That is what he said. I am not making this up. See the young lady there, she was on the platform. She was on the platform. Christine Spring, it was in the audience. Over 300 persons when the man of God spoke. So nobody can stand in the way of Jehovah. Nobody can stand in the way of Jehovah. It is not for me. It is for all the men who are helping me. My colleagues who are working with me and ladies too. It is for all of you who are here tonight supporting the Nevis Reformation Party. It's for all the people of Nevis. And you know what he said? He said this. It is time for Nevis. Nevis will be like the Middle East is to the rest of the world. Nevis will be to the Caribbean what Saudi Arabia is it to the Middle East and the rest of the world. That is what he said, and he said we must take up the mantle and we must run with the mantle. He didn't know it was geothermal. He said something was in the earth. That's what he said. And I'm saying it tonight. I want to know, who do you want to bring geothermal to Nevis? If the man of God says so, the people of Nevis must say amen. Amen. Don't look back. Don't look back. Never mind what others are saying. Never mind the naysayers. And all these people who are now coming on the radio trying to confuse the issue. We never needed them, and we don't want them now. The electoral office is doing its job. The court is doing its job. We do not have anything to do with the electoral office. We do not have anything to do with the court. We have been to court before, and we have lost, and we have gone home, and we have sat down. We have objected in 2001, and when the objections failed, we have sat down, and we have had to go back to the polls. The people who are trying to confuse you, don't let them confuse you. Do not let them confuse you. They must learn to respect the law. They must learn to respect the court. And they must also learn to have clean electoral lists. They must also learn to have clean electoral lists. Then there will be no problem with the office and no problem with the court. Let me leave that there. The electoral office has its job to do, and we have ours. If anybody come to you and say they can't vote for NRP because of the list, they're not NRP. And they don't intend to vote for NRP. They're just out to confuse and create confusion in your minds, and you need to ignore them. We have other things to think about. We have a debt to reduce. We inherited the bigger portion of the debt. We inherited the debt for the airport, the terminal, and the runway. We're still paying for those. We inherited the debt for Long Point. We're still paying for those. We inherited the debt for the bypass road. We're still paying for that. We inherited the debt for the bad road from Cotton Ground to Newcastle. We are still paying for that. Well, we fixed road, so we had to push up the debt, but you're enjoying the road. From Brick Hill here to Gingerland, we built that. And we built the road in Barnesgate, Jessops, Cox, and Coal Hill. We built those roads, and we built other roads, of course. But people are enjoying the roads. And now what we're saying, we are prepared to reduce the debt. We are prepared to reduce the debt, even as we have been reducing the debt, because we don't owe the Kuwaiti government any money anymore. We have paid them off. We have paid them off. We have reduced the debt. We have reduced even the Penny's estate debt. All those we have reduced. So what we are saying, geothermal is the answer to a quick reduction of the debt. If we'll be selling power to St. Kitts, if we'll be selling power to Puerto Rico, do you understand how much money will come to this country? And so, don't you think every division should want us to have geothermal tomorrow? The people who don't want it don't love Nevis. They love themselves and they want power. But I know, come election day, you are going to go out in your large numbers and you're going to vote for one party, the Green Party, the Nevis Reformation Party. Even as we develop geothermal and we seek to pay our debt, we have to expand in other areas. Just below us there, we have a great university. I don't have a problem with it. It's called the MUA, the University of the Americas. It has helped this area. It has helped the whole of Nevis. I know that. I'm glad for that. But I want to tell you something. There are millions of persons abroad who want a university education. There are millions of persons abroad who want to be trained as doctors and can't get training. If St. Kitts can have 4 or 6, as I'm told, why can't we have 2 or 3? Why must there be a monopoly? Are you going to put back the party that wants to maintain a 50-year monopoly? A party which says if you keep the monopoly, divisions are going to be better off? You think about it. If you have one, and I have three, and my three are 3 times your one, who better off? Who better off? I am better off. We don't want to take away St. Kitts University. We want to make sure we have what we can have here. And then you'll have homes all around the island. You'll have more visitors. You'll have more people in the supermarkets. You might even have your own cinema on the island. You'll have people, more taxis being employed, more farmers making money, more fishermen making money, more apartments being rented. Everybody will be happy. Everybody will be happy. And it takes the Nevis Reformation Party to do it. I want you to support your party. We want to continue the development of Brown Hill Communications and other activities like that. And we are saying to you, the job is not yet done. We have started the job. We have done a great job. But the job is far from done. I want you to get the message. I want you to get the message tonight. We need to pause for our cause. We need to pause for our cause. We need to honor the constitutional requirement of returning you, the people, to the people of Nevis, for a fresh mandate. The work is in progress. The seeds of prosperity have been planted and nurtured. The tide has reached a point where the benefits have begun to flow. We are at a very delicate point in the development and forward movement of Nevis. But the constitution of our country demands that we request of you a show of support, an act of endorsement, a vote of confidence. I hope you realize where I'm going. Follow me. Follow me. I believe that we need to begin to loosen the tongue on the belt. Who is going to loosen the tongue for me? Who is going to loosen the tongue for me? Hector, I believe you're best at this thing. The economy of Nevis does not need tinkering with at this stage. We cannot afford harebrained ideas that will set us back 5 years or 10 years. We need to stay the course and guide the ship ashore. CCM has 2 leaders. NRP has 1. Wherever you have 2 leaders, you have confusion. And I want you to remember that. One leader has his headquarters down by Seaspawn. The other one has his headquarters up by Ted Hobson. We don't need that on the island of Nevis. This is why I have come to you this evening. That is why I have chosen the historic site in the parish of St. James to put on the display, to put on display the work of the Nevis Reformation Party. This is not a popularity contest. We wish to be judged on performance. We want for you to examine our record and to consider the precipice on which we stood 4 years ago, and the beautiful landscape that surrounds us. We want you to discuss the progress of Nevis over the past 4 years with your family and friends resident on Nevis and elsewhere. Take into consideration the conditions under which we function. Reflect on the circumstances that prevail locally, regionally and internationally when we assumed office. Take a look around. Look at the economies of the East Caribbean, the Northern Caribbean, Europe and North America, and judge for yourself whether the Nevis Reformation Party has done a fantastic job under the circumstances. When you have done that, when you have taken into consideration the absence of corruption and malfeasance in office, when you have considered the stability of the Nevis Island administration under NRP, I invite you to help lobby for a return of NRP to office. It is against this backdrop that today I consulted with His Excellency, the Governor General. Are you listening? It is with the confidence of knowing that we have done our best under the circumstances that I advise on the dissolution of Parliament here in Nevis. Let me have the bell. And with the dissolution of Parliament, I can ring the bell. Citizens, friends, well-wishers, citizens, friends, well-wishers. Make sure that this, you hear it? Okay. School calling. Find your class behind the Nevis Reformation Party. Citizens, friends and well-wishers, it is time for us to return to the people. You entrusted your life in our hands. It is time for us to put our trust and faith in yours. Nomination day! Nomination day in Nevis shall be the 4th day. The 4th day of July. I want these elections to be free and fair. I want to have a clean and dignified campaign. I'm calling on all operatives in the election to recognize that the image of Nevis is at stake, that the world will be watching us. Polling day will be on the 11th day of July. on you to do the right thing by the Nevis Reformation Party. May God bless this beautiful island of ours. Get home safe. Good night, and may God bless you all. Vote for the Nevis Reformation Party.